Right, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So I have my pumpkin here and I'm going to be carving it, and I know I suggested this in my previous video and I was like wondering how I'd be able to just sit here and carve a pumpkin with you guys, but I thought to make it a bit more interesting, I'm not just going to carve like a face on this, I'm going to carve some of the plants that I've killed. So it's going to be like plant ghosts, which I think is a really good idea. So I've written a list out, which looks a bit too, no, that's like half the plants I've killed. I've written a list of the plants I'm going to try to carve into this, and I think it'll be quite fun. And I'll go through like each plant, how I killed it and why I killed it, if I killed it on purpose. So I'm going to start obviously by cutting it off, cutting the top off, and then we're going to gut it. And I'm probably going to, rather than carving like all the way through, I think I'm going to like carve just a little bit into the skin so that when it glows, it like glows through but it doesn't shine through. I don't know if that makes sense. Right, let's start. I don't know if this knife is the best knife to use, but hey. I hope you like my decorations as well. I spent like a whole 10 minutes cutting those out beforehand. But I think they look pretty cute. There we go. Right, so I've just, my bit is like a bit soggy, my stem. So I've got to pull it out like, oh, here we go. Ta-da! Seeds. Right. Just put that down. Right, so we've got all this goodness on the inside, and I'm gonna quickly, oh god, I love the smell of pumpkin. I'm gonna cut all this out, and I'm gonna show you what you can do with it. Well, I'll tell you what you can do with it. I won't show you. Well, maybe. We'll see. Right. Oh, luckily this is quite like a soft one. Oh, it's not even soggy. I'm not disappointed. I sound disappointed. Right, I've got a bowl here, so I'm gonna get all this stuff out into here. They're normally well soggy. This is like not soggy. Right, so you can save all this, and you can actually make face masks out of it. Oh, that feels so good. Right, when you're doing this, if you scoop loads of the actual flesh off of the edges, and you can blend that up, mix it with a bit of honey or a bit of lemon, or you can mix it with milk as well, like just a little bit of milk, and you can actually use that as a face cream, and it's really good for you, full of vitamins and stuff. And then, let me get that out, just a fun fact. And then, with the seeds, I've got some here. If you just rinse them off and put them, like dry them off, rinse them, get all that like muck off, and then you can dry them out, keep them in like a cool dark place, and obviously remove any that go moldy, but you can then sow them next year, like in the spring, and then grow your own pumpkins. So, or you can chuck them on the compost heap and let the pumpkins grow themselves. Right, so the first plant that I killed, well, it was nowhere the first plant I killed, but the first plant I'm going to try to carve onto here is my Monstera Leaf, and I killed this just purely, like, I ended up putting it out in the garden in the end. It wasn't even dead, I just put it out because I got, like, bored. I don't want to use the word bored, but I got bored of it. I bought it right in the beginning of when I started collecting plants, and I bought it because it was kind of hyped up, and I was like, oh yeah, if I'm going to collect plants, I need to have one of these. So I bought it, I enjoyed it to begin with, and then it started getting too big, like, and that I then decided that I'd rather keep smaller plants in my bedroom because obviously I don't have that much space, and so I kind of I realised quickly that you can leave it such a long time without watering that like it really doesn't require much care at all. So I just continued with that and then didn't water it for months on end, and then it wilted, and then I'd water it, and then it would like obviously spring back, and I just got kind of bored. And they're really pretty, I do really like them, but that is the first one going on here. So I'm actually going to draw on with a Sharpie first and then carve it out, just because I don't know if I could freehand a Monstera leaf like with a knife. So I'm going to start cutting this. Right, so I don't really know if this looks like a Monstera leaf. I mean, kind of. I mean, it doesn't. It looks like a pine cone. It'll do. That's fine. It's a ghost. It's fine. Right. Okay. So next, I'm gonna do. Let's go for something a bit different. Okay. Right. So I've killed 2 Nepenthes in my time, and they've both been in my room. So I'm going to try and do a Nepenthes. So these are also known as monkey cups, and I underwatered both of them. One of them I kept in a south facing window, and it was loving life through the winter, but then obviously as it started getting a bit warmer, it began to decline quite quickly and dried out far too quick. So I'm going to try and do one of them, but I don't know how that's going to go. Where can it go? Right. If you can hear like screaming outside, that's the neighbourhood ghost, I'll say. Right, so they have broad leaves like this. I mean, that looks nothing like an Nepenthes, but I'm going to go with it and we're going to make it work. Right, so I don't know if that's really going to look like a Nepenthes trap, but I reckon when it's lit up it might do. So I think we're going to leave it there, and then I'll just do the second one. You can't even see my face. We'll do the second one and then we'll move on to the next plant. Right, so that was the Nepenthes. It doesn't, I mean, it'll look better in the dark, let's be honest. Next up I'm going to go with Alocasia caprea, and this was probably my biggest regret killing that, because afterwards I really started to like it. Like I started to see it a bit more. Well, I started to see the beauty of it more than when I had it. So I do regret killing that one. I killed that one just by neglect, like I just didn't water it, and then it slowly like died down, and then I chucked it. But that's going to be a difficult one to draw, so let's get on with that one. Right, so I'm going to go with like this general shape. It looks like a lily pad, but I'm going to go with that general shape and then see how it comes out. Right, okay, so I've gone for a little bit of a different approach for this one. I've just kind of outlined it, and it kind of now looks like any sort of alocasia, but there we go, that's that one. It's looking pretty cool so far. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how good it looks when it's dark. I may have to scrape a bit more of the inside out just to make the wall thinner so that it shows through better. Right, so this next one is actually like truly terrifying, so viewer discretion. That's a frip. So this one is my rickrack cactus, and I'm gutted that I've lost it, but these little blighters are the reason why, so I thought I would include a frip on there. Don't use that to identify your frips because it looks nothing like that, but that's the closest I could get. And this kind of looks like holly, but hey, that's my rickrack cactus, poor little guy. I'm definitely going to get another one because I love that so much. I mean, it's coming together. It's looking alright. I mean, oh, I've only got a tiny bit of space left. I've only got here. Maybe I'll change up the alocasia a little bit. The Nepenthes looks alright. The Monstera. The rickrack cactus looks like a weird L. And that frip is definitely like the scariest part about this pumpkin. But it's looking pretty cool so far, I'm quite happy. Right, so next up, I think I've got a couple more things on the list. I'll say them out, but maybe I'll only carve like one of them onto it. So Lithops I've killed. I think I've only killed them once because I never got them again because I couldn't do the watering. Like, you're only supposed to water them at certain times, and I didn't do that. So they died. And then what else have we got? Oh, my Calathea orbifolia. Yeah, I don't have space for that on here, but that unfortunately is now dead. Well, I think it's gonna be. This is really terrible, but I think one of the reasons why I was so okay with letting it die is because I know that I can just get another one, and that's really bad. That's like a really bad way of thinking. But in IKEA they're only like £9, so. But I'm not gonna get another one. Not yet. Not in this room. Maybe if I move out one day I'll get like a nice big one. And then what else? Oh, my watermelon peperomia, I killed that little guy as well, but that was from underwatering. I just never watered it and it died, and yeah, that I have no reason really other than neglect. So I think, should I try to do a Lithop in this gap? Unless I do a Lithop underneath, and then I could try and do a watermelon peperomia leaf, but I don't really know how I'd do that. And I think it would look very similar to that, even though that is not accurate. I'm going to try and do a Lithop, bear with. Right, so that's the drawing, which is terrible as well. But pardon the pun. Let's try and, I'm just going to outline it, I suppose. And I see Lithops online, and some of them, this is a really weird angle. Some of them look really cool because they're like massive, and mine were only tiny when I got them. I think I got like a pot of like 4 or 5 in the pot, and they are really cool plants. Maybe I'll try and get one another time, but I think the only way that I'd end up keeping it alive is if I literally just don't water it at all, which I don't know if that's necessarily classed as keeping something alive. No, I guess it's not, is it? This might actually come out okay. don't know. I don't know if that looks like a lift up. It doesn't at all. Oh wait, that looks like, no it doesn't. I was gonna say it looks like that star sign, but no, that's like, one of these would have to be the other way up, right? Yeah, that one. Yeah, that does look like a lift up. That'll do, wouldn't it? What do you guys think? Yeah, that'll do. Right, so I'm going to scoop out a whole lot more of the inside just to make the walls quite thin, so that when I do put a candle in it, you can actually see. So, let's go from the beginning. Right, Monstera, well, I killed a Monstera adansonii as well, so I'm going to say this is a Monstera adansonii or Monstera deliciosa. Both dead, both neglected. I think I love the idea of Monstera, I just don't follow through with the enjoyment, I suppose. Right, and then next up we have the Nepenthes. I've killed a Nepenthes Bloody Mary and a Nepenthes Hookeriana. Both died the same way, both died in the same pot. I probably won't use that pot for a Nepenthes again. So yeah, both died from drought. No, actually, they did die in different pots. What am I thinking about? I've killed a couple of plants in that pot, but no, they were both in different pots, so that's fine. I'll let myself off. And then we've got my Alocasia caprea, which I regret so bad, and I wish I still had that guy. Then Lithop, because they are the bane of my life, even though I've only owned like one. It was a terrifying experience. These little B words. Frips, terrifying. Scarier than any like zombie face. My Rickrat cactus, I'm honestly gutted about that, so I'll try not to look at that side. I think this is the scariest side. And then we're back round to the front. Okay, cool. I think that's quite cool. So yeah, I'm gonna scoop it out and I'll be back. Alright, so I've just blended up some of the pumpkin. And it smells so, I love that smell so much. I'm gonna rub this all over my face. I guess if you don't practice what you preach, right? It feels like a bit too sloppy, like it's definitely gonna fall. But like it's a weird consistency. I'll do it. Just for you guys. Oh, okay. It's gonna drop all over my bed. If I come up in a rash, I probably should not be doing this on my bed. I don't know how I feel about this. It doesn't taste very good. It feels nice on the face. It's just too wet. I think it needs a bit more like I'm literally chewing on pumpkin. Let's get this on the forehead. I mean, why not? I don't think I like it. No, I feel it feels good on the skin. This is turned into a review. It feels good on the skin, not in the mouth, and it's all over the bed. But cool. I'm gonna leave this on for a few minutes and see how it feels. Right, so I've waited till nighttime. I didn't just sit there waiting, don't worry. And now I'm gonna do the reveal of my pumpkin. And I had a quick sneak peek and it looks pretty good. So I'll just set up my camera and then I'll like spin the pumpkin so you'll be able to see each picture. So yeah. Right, so first up we've got the Monstera Leaf, RIP. Then we've got, I don't know how well it's picking up on camera, but we've got the Nepenthes there. So you can see the traps either side. Oh, we're going out of focus. Come on, focus. There we go. So we've got the Nepenthes. I think the leaves look pretty good on the Nepenthes, if I may say so myself. And then we've got the Alocasia caprea, which looks like a 2-year-old drawing, but that's pretty cool. And then we've got my current favourite, the Lithop, looking hella cute but dead. And then the most frightening, we've got the Fripp. If it's gonna focus, I think it keeps going out of focus. With the Rickrat cactus, which, yeah, and I get that's that's all of it. It's kind of like a lot dimmer than I would have liked, but it looks pretty cool. Right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was a little bit different and I thought it was quite fun. It was fun making it. And I'm gonna go put this out in the garden, or I might keep it in here when it's dark, we'll see. And yeah, let me know what you guys carved your pumpkins into. and I'll be very interested to know. But everyone have a very good Halloween, whatever you're doing for your Halloween, and I'll see you guys in my next video.